let's get up there. Let's get up there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the March open board meeting for the Board of Trustees of the Community of Concordia. And Mike, if you please do roll call for us. We'll all stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic Okay, now, Mike, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Sharon Falkowitz.
Here.
Chad Henderson.
Here.
Susan Lorcello. Amy McSweeney.
Here.
Deanna Miller.
Here.
Steve Patterson.
Here.
Donna Williams.
Here.
On behalf of management, Corey Harris is not in attendance, and I am Michael Canberg, and that's in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I'd like to get a motion to accept the open board meeting minutes from the February 10th board meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from February 10th.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
That's good shit.
Okay, that's proud. So I am trying to do two things at once. Read and talk. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the March open board meeting of the Board of Trustees for Concordia. On behalf of the entire board, I'd like to take a minute and address the recent storm and the many questions that concerns we have received, I'll put it that way, regarding snow removal and the snow assessment. First, we recognize that the recent storms created challenges throughout our community, and in fact the entire state. It was on a state of emergency last storm. These significant winter events have placed a great deal of pressure on our snow removal operations. And while our contractor, albeit new, worked continuously through the storm, they didn't stop as they had in some other communities. There were times when the conditions and the duration and the strength of the storm caused delays in certain areas of our community. We appreciate the patience of our many residents who were patient and let us get through the process. All the feedback that was provided by residents that was shared with the board has been shared with management and was shared with the vendor and were ultimately addressed.
Emily. No
It's
picture,
also
no
important to
sound.
remember, it's also important to,
Not on TV.
can you hear me?
Okay, go back.
Yes, we hear you.
I hear you, Chad.
No, you can't.
But you're not on TV.
There's no TV
There's
today.
no TV out here.
We know that. There is
Okay.
no TV.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Technical issue. Okay, and if I could have your attention again, please. Okay, so all the feedback that was provided to the board, to management, was all conveyed back to the vendor, and the vendor ultimately cleared all the issues. God got rid of a lot of the snow too today. It's also important to remember that Concordia is a very large community. We have many, many miles of roadways and cul-de-sacs. Plus we have all the driveways, walkways, parking lots, and common areas that must be cleared during the snow event. Snow removal at a property of this size requires a significant coordination and time to complete safely. We do maintain a list of residents that need priority cleaning for medical issues. Those on that list were taken care of first, but the vendor needed to clear the access road to get to the house. So they had to clear whatever mileage there was from the circle in to get to the property in order to get the medical patients driveway cleared. We have a full-time manager who's on site from the vendor, which none of our vendors previously had ever done for us. So we had a man who was here for 40 hours straight, conducting the efforts of over 100 shovelers and many, many more people. Following the storms, management and the board conducted a debrief of how the snow contractor managed things and how well they did, and to identify areas where improvements could be made. The contractor will be coming back within the next couple of weeks, by the way, to repair any lawn damage that occurred during the plowing event. I know all of us have probably seen that our yards look like heck. Okay, so anyway. Secondly, I want to clarify the recent snow assessment that was approved by the board that will be applied to the 2025 snow removal process. The expenses exceeded the amount that had originally been budgeted when we created the 2025 budget, which was back in October of 2024. When the board prepared the 2025 budget, we intentionally took a conservative approach to the snow removal costs based upon all of the previous data we had available at the time. Snowfall had been minimal in prior years, and you know snowfall can vary dramatically from year to year. And rather than significantly increase the HOA fees in order to budget for the worst case scenario for winter, the board discussed at length and decided to choose to keep the snow budget at previous levels from previous years because we recognized that funds were available in our discretionary reserves, if they were needed, to cover any additional expense. If we had budgeted for the highest potential snow cost, which in some winters could be close to $1 million, monthly HOA fees would have increased substantially year over year for every homeowner. To put it in perspective, HOA fees would have increased by approximately $38 a month for every house on continuum. And therefore, that increase would have continued to incrementally have cost you additional money more every year. By comparison, the one-time snow budget assessment that we have put has a significantly smaller impact on the residents than it would have been if we had been paying these higher costs annually within our budget month after month. Quite frankly, it would have been easier to simply budget for the higher possible snow amounts each year and pass that cost on directly to the residents through higher HOA fees, as some previous boards did. Instead, your board chose a more conservative and balanced approach in order to avoid unnecessary financial burdens, ongoing financial burdens to the community, including ourselves. The goal of this board has always been to keep our HOA fees stable and affordable, rather than raising the fees each year to cover any possible contingencies or whims. At this point in the season, we're approaching the end of the winter months, God, I hope. And the board and management will continue to review all expenses, as we always do, as the year progresses. This year, again, we modestly budgeted $170,000 for snow. But we know that we have some other budgeted areas that we'll underspend in 2026, and it'll help us balance that out. And hopefully it will be a manageable situation. Thirdly, I'd like to ask for your patience regarding the recent short staffing at the concierge desk. We've experienced some staffing challenges, but expect to fill those positions shortly. And for those of you on social media who are worried about us wasting money on no-show employees, they're hourly. They don't get paid if they don't show up. Sorry, you don't know business, whoever you are out there. In addition, we're transitioning to a new janitorial service here in the clubhouse, which we believe will ultimately be a very positive improvement for the community, physically and financially. Lastly, the board has been asked to revisit the need for a finance committee in the community. We have agreed, the board has agreed, that we will take this up at our next executive board meeting, which is a week from today. As you can see, your board and management have been giving a great deal of attention to improving the efficiencies, strengthening our operations, and being careful stewards of the funds entrusted to us by you. In closing, remember that those of us sitting up here, the members of the board, are residents of Concordia as well. Increases affect you, increases affect us. The decisions we make are made in the best interest of the entire community. Managing a community of this size and this age requires careful financial planning and balance. The board members sitting up here today, all of the board members, and then we'll add management later, have over 200 years of true, full-time business experience in finance, business management, outsourcing, project management, marketing, strategy, and all for public companies. We're not, a bunch of golfers. We can assure you the decisions that we make are thoughtful and responsible. We appreciate the support and patience of our residents as we continue to work together to keep Concordia a well-managed and desirable community for everybody to live. Remember, we were voted the #1 Board of Trustees in the state of New Jersey and the #1 manager. So I guess we maybe might possibly know something about what we're doing. Thank you. And with that long-winded speech, Diana, could you give us a financial report, please?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming out. We're going over January's financials, so there's not
No
a whole
sound.
lot to report. This was sent out.
You have to put your mic on.
Closer, closer to your mouth. Closer to your mouth, that's all.
All right, we get even closer. Let's see, how's that? All
Perfect.
right, our total operating cash as of January 31st. I'm going to ask everybody to silence their phones. Thank you. Total operating cash, $437,000. Our discretionary cash is at $523,000. We will be taking money out of that to cover last year's budget. You'll notice that on the February financials. Our reserve cash is at $2.2 million, giving us a total cash of $3.1 million. Our accounts receivable are at $157,000 at January 31st. We did just get the February report today, and only for receivables, and that's down to $116,000. The over 90 was at $102,000, that's down to $65,000. So thank you for those late payers who are paying their bills. Our accounts payable is at $77,000, and we have accrued expenses showing up at $876,000. Those of you wondering about that, I have a meeting scheduled for Thursday to go over that. I don't know what of it is audit, what of it is journal entries, adjustments. We did prepay security for 6 months. We had upfront insurance charges, so there are a number of things in there that we'll be going over. switch now to our operating income. We budgeted $1 million, we took in at $1,027,000, so we're up $26,000 for the month of January. Grounds maintenance, there's where we have the big deficit, $428,000 over budget. All of that is due to snow. We are under budget on a couple of things, which hopefully those will continue to trail under budget for the rest of the year. Building maintenance, we are under budget by $15,000. We budgeted $44,000, we spent $29,000. One of the things that I expect to continue trending down in that is the building maintenance and supplies. Security services, we're right even on that. We're actually under budget by $300. Management services. This is showing we're over budget by $28,000. January is one of those months where we had a third pay period. It happens 4 times a year. Usually it's later in the year, you don't notice it, but right about it was January this year. So we're not over budget per se on payroll. We're actually under a little bit. Our general expenses, we are under budget by $15,000. I expect this to continue trailing all year, staying under budget. Part of that will be due to the insurance, cable, and a couple of other line items in there. Our clubhouse operations, we are over budget on that, $6,000, and that is our social activities, which if you look at the income, our social activities income, which is directly related to that, is over budget as well. So they cancel each other out. So for the month of January, all total, we are over budget $431,000. And like I said, that is all snow. On our reserve, normally we have the full reserve budget. You will see that with the February financials. We were able to get that done, and you'll see what we've allotted for each category as you had last year. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana. Excellent. Michael, can we get a management report, please? Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone.
First up is the snow assessment, as all of you know, and you will be receiving a copy of the snow assessment letter with the resolution I'm about to read into the record. This is being mailed out, since it's been posted. Those of you that have opted in for digital transmission, you will receive it electronically, and then there will be paper notices going out the next week. Communities of Concordia Homeowners Association. Board of Trustees of Communities of Concordia Homeowners Association, Inc. hereby adopts the following resolution, which was approved at its meeting held on February 10th, 2026, and effective as of that date. Whereas the association is governed by the Declaration of Covenants and Restrictions dated April 1982. Whereas Article 4 of the Declaration grants the Board of Trustees authority to institute a snow assessment. Now, therefore, after due consideration by the members of the trustees of the association, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees has determined that a snow assessment in the amount of $300 will be assessed to the owners to pay for the snow assessment. Owners will have the option to pay this assessment over 4 months at $75 per month. The snow assessment will commence on April 1, 2026 and will run through July 30, 2026. Further resolved that owners who sell their unit during the term of the snow assessment will pay the association the remaining amount owed in full at closing. Further resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes and directs the President of the Association to sign this resolution as evidence of its adoption by the Board of Trustees of the Association in accordance with the Association's governing documents and applicable law. This was voted on in executive session, a vote of 7-0. It was disclosed to the meeting constituency on February 10th and recorded in the open meeting minutes of that night. And the association's resolution is now read into the open meeting minutes, a record of March 10th. This has been signed by Chad Henderson, the president. Like I said, you will all receive a copy of this, and it will be added to the governing documents and other resolutions in Neighbor on the website. Thank you for that. Next order of business. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. It's better than nobody. Next up, we, as I mentioned previously, and we'll mention this again each and every meeting, there are amendment initiatives for 2026 for this HOA to consider and hopefully embrace and adopt with the upcoming election. The first one will be tort immunity, and this is to protect yourselves from yourselves. The idea that the HOA does not have tort immunity in place is really a function of your age of your community. Most communities that were constructed and organized and launched into an association from the mid-90s on have adopted tort immunity. It is critical for the long-term health of your association. We will get an opinion letter from the association's attorney to help explain this amendment, but this is a critical one for the long-term health of your community. The next one, which we believe is also critical for your long-term health, is an owner occupancy requirement. As I mentioned to you at the last meeting, and will continue to remind you of, your community of 1,757 units currently has approximately 180. Two of them have not recently used. You have 180 of those units currently rented. That's slightly over 10%. That's a number you do not want to see growing. Once you get past 15%, closer towards 20%, the insurance markets look at your community differently, mortgage companies will look at your community differently, and not in a good way. They will find the lack of ownership, owner occupancy concerning, and this is just a statistical data point. We have to provide this to them when we do your insurance renewal. They need to know how many units are owner occupied versus rented. We track this. The administrator in my office was Haley Williams, but it will be someone new soon. But this information is tracked and reported to the insurance company as part of our renewal process. So it is critical that the community consider adopting an owner occupancy requirement. Meaning, if you buy it, you have to live in it for a period of time before you could consider renting. And this will preclude the investor owner from coming here and purchasing multiple units. We encourage people to buy, we encourage people to invest in the communities, but what we are conscious of is you're organized as a homeowners association. Your primary function is as a group to organize and associate for the ownership, not for a for-profit rental model. So this is concerning. We want to make sure that the community stays as it was intended as an owner-occupied homeowners association. So owner occupancy is another big one. Both of those are declaration amendments. They will require 2/3 affirmative vote. So we will look to campaign and get everyone involved. I couldn't stress this enough. It will not cost any more. It's going to be part of our election ballot, but it's critical that we really consider this and you folks really take a position. Choose not to vote for it, so be it. Please come out and vote. My next topic is work order updates. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. Donna Richards, who was the maintenance admin, is no longer working for Concordia. We are currently interviewing a replacement for that role, a very strong candidate, and we've got an offer extended, and I hope to have an update out to the community in short time. Until then, we are still receiving work orders, we're still administering work orders, and we're still going to service your needs. You have your existing maintenance team in place, both Michael and Eric in-house, and then our external contractors that continue to serve the community. And we expect this system and this process to only get better in the next few months. So please stay tuned for some improvements and some information on how that exactly is going to be improved. Let's talk about the landscape real quick. As Chad had mentioned, there is some turf damage, there is some physical damage, there are some retaining walls that were damaged, there are some fences that were damaged, some curbs, some drain boxes, bloody mailboxes. It was a brutal couple of days. They call it blizzard of the decade. And it was. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I can tell you only really one other winter was this significant of an impact. I'm just talking about 26. What happened in 25 was just bad timing. You don't get a big storm like that late in December and expect it not to impact your budget. No community who ends their budget 12/31 was adequately prepared to take on that significant amount of snowfall in that little period of time. There was no room for any pivoting or any kind of accounting maneuvering or anything. So 25 was a tough year. What just went on in January, February of this year, extraordinary. 2 extraordinary storms back to back. We haven't seen snowfall like that in recent history. And as a result, our grounds are damaged. We've got some damage. The good news is your snow services providers also your landscaper, and they're fully accountable too. So they've already started as recently as yesterday with assessing soil and some turf restoration, but it's very minimal right now. But really what's going on is branch cleanup and tree limb cleanup. You'll see a tree crew in here tomorrow removing more storm damaged trees. We're still doing some of that triage. People have lost some trees, some have fallen, some large pieces have cracked and broken off. So there's a combination of tree removals and some significant pruning ongoing. But you will see these services continue to ramp up this week and significantly more next week. That will go on again for all turf restoration, leaf and branch cleanup, and then any storm damage, tree removal, and site repairs. Thank you for those of you who have sent them in, and the photos help. So you're aware, those emails you send me, I forward directly to the vendor, and they get added to the pending list. So they're not disregarded, they're added to the queue, and they're going to be dealt with in a timely fashion. That's what I can tell you. To echo Mr. President's statements, thank you for your patience. It has been a frustrating few weeks on top of a frustrating few months, compounding just a very frustrating winter from a management perspective. I love seeing the snowfall. It's gorgeous when it's happening, but only for like 5 minutes. And then the panic sets in. And look, the idea, and I was on the phone extensively with your snow crew and your maintenance team, Michael and Eric, the idea of trying to move 2 feet of snow just 20 feet into the gate to get into the community causes an 8-foot pile. As you're moving 2 feet of snow anywhere, imagine like an ocean, the waves just start going 4 or 5 foot tall swells. It is an enormous undertaking. I don't envy a vendor coming in here brand new December 1 and really getting tested. And as much as we critique them, and I will assure you, these 7 folks beat them to bits every chance they had when it was appropriate. They did advocate very hard for you. But that said, they came in not exactly blind, but they came in under a little bit of duress because the former vendor left us. They kind of left us in a bad way, and we needed to make sure that the snow season was covered. So we went with the new vendor in December. The outgoing vendor did not want to stay for the winter. They did not want out. They wanted out, not in March, December. So they were cut loose in December. And the new vendor came in, and that learning curve was really hands-on. And in December, they got a real learning. But in January, it's tested, wasn't it? And then again in February. A lot of constructive criticism has come from those 3 events, and I am confident that they have improved with each pass. It didn't help that each storm got successively worse, so it was hard to see the improvement in their procedure, but I can assure you, the one thing I do want to say, which is different than prior snow removals, this particular vendor likes the following approach. They're coming through, it's a 3-pronged approach. The first is they're plowing roads. The second is the machines are coming to your driveways. The third is the shovelers are coming. The shovel, like the Corvette said, the shit coming. The shovelers are coming. The shovelers are coming. Until you see shovelers, you're not done. That's what I can tell you. And a lot of the complaints, or the feedback, I'll say, is they weren't really complaints. It was feedback. The feedback we were receiving was, hey, they did my driveway, but they left. They didn't finish my driveway. They didn't do my walkway. And you're right. They didn't. But that's judging the haircut in the middle of the haircut. Let them come. Let the shovelers come get it done. And then what they've missed is truly missed. The idea that you're calling in between second and third waves, and I don't blame any of you. You didn't know. How would you know? We did a bad job communicating that. I'll own that. I'll own that. I should have done a better job letting all of you know that 3-pronged approach was what you should be expecting. That's my takeaway. And they beat me up on that, just so you know. So, management here doesn't matter. At the end of the day, 3 days after that award, we were hit with this blizzard, and it was just back to work. So I assure you, I will do better communicating with you. I will make sure that we are reminding you of that 3-pronged approach next year, because we're not going to see any more snow this year. And I'm done with my, actually, 3 more quick items. Save sidewalks. Thankfully, after a bunch of delays, they are back on task at the beginning this week with the actual work. So keep an eye out for that. Any questions, let me know. Roofs are ongoing. The board just awarded another 20 roofs in our most recent batch. They will be pushing right through March into April. And the elevators, as I mentioned, there are 7 buildings with 2-story lifts in here, and all 7 will be getting replaced. And that will also, thankfully, be starting out the weather behind us. And that is my annual report.
Hi, thank you. Hi. So moving right along, we have Susan. Would you like to talk about our care awards for this month?
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming out. It's nice to see everyone here, so many people, it's great. So this month, in lieu of a care award, we made a decision to give an outstanding service recognition. And I'm going to read a letter that came in from one of our residents, and I think you'll think it's really great too. Hi board and Mike. I had just a nice experience with 2 members of your staff this week, and I need to tell you about it. I just moved to Concordia on Saturday. I still do not know much about the community. Unfortunately, while I was unpacking 2 days ago, I managed to trip and fall on my face. There was plenty of blood all over the floor from a nosebleed, so I knew I needed some help. I was not sure what to do, so I called the concierge desk, and John immediately told me he would get the nurse, Kathy. Kathy actually came to my house, which was amazing in itself, but what amazed me more was how concerned and kind both Kathy and John were. I really felt taken care of. John called an ambulance for me against my protest. I said, no, I don't need an ambulance, and it's just a nosebleed. I'm not dying. John pointed out that I should let the EMTs evaluate me, and I did not have to get into the ambulance if I didn't want to. I ended up going to the ambulance, having the ambulance come after all, which was the right decision. It turned out that I had broken my nose and needed stitches for the cut on my chin. I'm so grateful to John and Kathy for being so kind and so efficient. The whole experience made me feel that I am part of a real community here in Concordia. That is a precious thing. I feel lucky to be living here. You're in Bravado. So unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but we do have outstanding service award to give them. And Mike, I think you had something.
I do. Thank you, everyone. So John couldn't be here tonight, but he was a little bit blown away that the board acknowledged, the resident acknowledged him, and that the board certainly acknowledged him. So he asked me to read this, please. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I can't be with you all tonight to accept this honor in person. He's working with our company, our lifestyle team, preparing for an event that's going to be done tomorrow. We'd like to thank the board for their recognition of this wonderful honor. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to serve all of you here at Concordia. Even though my tasks are lifestyle related, I truly enjoy helping people, and I'm glad to have played even a small part in making sure the situation was okay. The real thanks goes to Kathy, the nurse, our police officers, and the wonderful Monroe EMS team that responded as well. In conclusion, I'm thankful for allowing me to be in the right place at the right time, using my skills I've learned over the years as a member of EMS and a former 911 operator, and that the good Lord has seen that this resident has a speedy and safe recovery. Thank you again. John Patterson.
Thank you. Do we have any updates on the various committees?
I just have a rundown of the upcoming events.
Okay, yes.
Yeah? Okay. All this is at your voice, but just as a reminder, we have the Irish celebration this Saturday. There's actually still some tickets available if anyone's interested. It's the #1 YouTube tribute band, and they're unbelievable. I mean, you would swear they were U2 and Bono. So, April 11th, Sensational Soul Cruisers. Again, a fabulous concert it will be. Tickets are on sale. Ragtime, unfortunately, is sold out. The bus ride. On May 5th, we're going to start up Tunes on the Terrace, and that will be on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday from Cinco de Mayo until September 15th. So that'll be ongoing all summer for you guys on the terrace, weather permitting. But if it's bad weather, we're gonna try to do it inside, so more to come. On May 9th, we have the Bobby Darin tribute. Tickets will go on sale, or actually just went on sale on March 9th. And something that didn't make the paper, we planned this trip after it was too late to get in the paper. But on May 12th, there's going to be a bus ride to Wood Creek Casino in Pennsylvania. Tickets go on sale on March 17th. It's $35, and you can get $25 slot play. So put that on your calendar if you're interested in going. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Amy, anything to, no? Okay, Donna?
Yes, I just wanted to say that we are going to be doing our benches. I know you haven't seen the poster out, but with the snow and the bad weather, we kind of took a little lull. But we're back. So starting this spring, we're going to be taking more orders. So far, we have like 6 benches that we are using. And you get to put, of course, your own inscription on it, whatever you want to say. But it's going to go around the property. I actually go with you, and we go through the property, see where you'd like to have the bench. And then I go back to the engineers, and they see if the level is good enough for it, and all those things work. And then we're ready for your bench. So by the summertime, we should have the benches out, and I'm very excited about them, because they're going to be beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Sharon?
Hi, good to see everyone. Just want to give you a little update on Miriam, the woman that fell. She was at our coffee and conversation on Sunday. She's doing very well. Her nose is back in place. She had surgery on the 24th, and her eyes are cleared up, and she's ready to go, joining all the committees and clubs that she can. So she's on track to be a good resident of the community with a good experience after a bad one. Just wanted to mention that our next coffee and conversation will not be the second Sunday. That's Mother's Day. Everyone celebrates that. It will be the third Sunday, May 17th. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. And with that, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn our meeting for tonight.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Could I have a second, please?
I second the motion.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Now it is time for Q&A. And I just want to remind everybody of the rules around Q&A. Okay? No problem. Come up and talk about a community-wide issue. The Q&A is not meant to discuss individual property issues. Those can be saved for after the meeting. Mike will remain and can talk to whoever needs to have a conversation about individual property issues. Number 2, please keep your time at the podium to under 3 minutes, 4 minutes, not 20, please. And excuse me, lastly, it's 1 question, and then go back to the end of the line and come back up for your next opportunity so everybody has a chance to get their word in. Thank you. So with that.
My name is John, love it here. I'm at 174B on Concordia Circle. This morning, my wife looked and saw a Comcast box knocked over and all kinds of sod and mud all over the place. And we decided to report it and see what's going on. I asked her to use the system that we have in place, the new one. And she's not very good at computers, but she got on the computer, and what happened was at 10 o'clock, she reported it. At 12 o'clock, I got a phone call, wanting to know where the problem was. By 2 o'clock, there was a truck with 2 or 3 guys, and they fixed the problem, okay? I don't know what's going on in the rest of the community. All I know is what I see around me, and I would like to thank who's ever responsible for that. You know, and we'll move on from there. Now,
Thank you, John. Question?
yeah, I'm gonna go work the camera. I jumped in front of a lot of people. Let me go. Goodbye.
Thank you, John.
Here we go.
2016 Jane Buchanan Drive, Monroe, New Jersey. I have a question for the board and for Mike.
Hold the mic.
The 13 years that I'm living here, we had a private manager here, Jack, up until Mike came in with his crew. Before that, and then
Brian in between.
Brian and Paul Rosenheim. In the meantime, the snow removal was not what it was years ago. Now, we had rules and regulations that worked very well. The first people that were supposed to be shoveled out were the people that had cancer and on chemo, and also those that were on dialysis. The second group of people that were supposed to be shoveled out were the people in the houses with the elevators. That was the second group that was supposed to be shoveled out. The third group that was supposed to be shoveled out, Sharon's double shaking her head no, because it's true. The third people that were supposed to be shoveled out were the people that didn't have attached garages. They could not get into their cars from the house. They had to walk in the street. So those were going to be the third people that were shoveled out. That did not happen, and I would like to know why.
Okay, Sue, please jump in here. Yep. The people on the medical list were dealt with first. Yes. You are right.
They were not.
Then they weren't on the list.
They were on the list and they were not checked. And the people that live in the houses with the elevators,
Yes.
my girlfriend Marshall lives in one of those houses, okay? She waited 3 days to get shoveled out. So don't tell me they walked.
I wasn't speaking about that. If you had let me finish my sentence, Sue, okay? We had all the medical people that were on the list. We got to as quickly as we could. You're absolutely right about the elevator houses. We have come to realize that there needs to be an additional list provided. We spoke to the vendor. We have him now seeing that list, and he's got that. Number 3, the carriage house people, the folks on the one who have to walk out to a garage. Can I finish, buddy? Thank you.
Carriage houses. I'm not a carriage house.
No, I'm saying they have their cars in, I call it a carriage house, where you keep your car.
Right.
Okay, you have to walk from your house across a driveway, and that list was also not provided because it had been taken, and now we've got a new one. Mike Doyle's put it together, the vendor has it. You're absolutely right, they messed up the first time, but they have been told about all 3 of those issues.
My next question.
One please, one at a time, you have 5, 6 people behind you.
Hold the microphone up to you so we can't hear you. Put the microphone.
Okay, I'll hold the mic up to me. Not you, I'm talking to you now, right? You said just now that all of the residents were raised. Everybody got a raise. Rossmore did not get a raise. Clearbrook did not get an assessment raise.
Yes,
You guys did not get an assessment. The only ones that got assessment were us. And I know for a fact because I have friends that live in those developments. Not one of them was assessed. This one we were assessed.
Believe everything you read on social media.
I'm not reading, I have friends that live there, Chad, so don't come here about me. Yes, you mentioned assessments, he said, well, look at you, we're assessed before you
No,
start.
what I said is that in 2025 December, any community who ended year-end 12/31 fiscal year did not have adequate funds on hand to deal with
I thought you said
unanticipated storms in December.
Thank you. So can we,
Why was nobody here? Not one person was here in the office, talking about an emergency during a snowstorm. Not one
Wrong.
single person. Not
Wrong. Mike Doyle was here and the property manager vendor was here. Well, guess what? When you're getting 500 calls an hour, it's difficult to answer everyone, okay? So please, Sue, please, thank you. We love you.
My name is Richard Sattler. Quiet, please. My name is Richard Sattler. I live at 9B Bedfordshire Drive. I've spoken to the board before, but tonight I'm really going to let it go. I've been a member of the newspaper committee for the last 7 years. The newspaper has cancer. The cancer is censorship, to the point at which we can no longer do what we need to do. And I'll give you a perfect example. I wrote an article about a book called The Fascism by Madeleine Albright. No good. It was political. Couldn't print. I wrote an article about a play that was on Broadway called Good Night and Good Luck, which was so important that it was televised live from the theater. I was forced to change my article because I mentioned why the author wrote it. We have a member of our committee by the name of Stephen Giselli, who is a past writer, retired writer from the New York Times. He wrote an article about chocolate, the National Chocolate Day. It was rejected because he had the temerity to write the words that chocolate at one time was considered an aphrodisiac. What are we, a bunch of 12-year-olds? You can't read something like that? I have a lot more.
Okay, let me just share with you, nobody up here has anything to do with what that paper decides.
Because we were told differently by the editor of the newspaper that the board directed what can be in the newspaper.
That's not true.
That is absolutely what we were told.
Well, I don't care if you were told, but I'm just saying it's not true.
All right, let's go one step further. At a recent meeting of the Italian American Club, at one of their functions, they had a full-blown MAGA demonstration with flags and with the music from the MAGA movement. How come nothing was done about that? Well, we're censored. That's just wonderful.
Thank you. Next.
Rich, I just want to acknowledge your comment as the liaison to the voice. I will definitely take your comments and discuss them because I was unaware that was happening. So.
Did you attend any of the meetings?
I attend all the meetings.
And you didn't know that this was going on?
I didn't hear anybody's
3 months ago?
Sorry?
You didn't hear what I said 3 months ago at the committee meeting? You were there.
I guess I don't remember what you said at the meeting.
The fact that we were being censored and the fact that we were not allowed to print the kinds of articles that make sense in today's world. What are we trying to shelter ourselves from living the way we do?
Yeah, no, I think, okay, like I said, I'd be happy to talk to the editors.
Talking to the editor will get you just as far as I got tonight.
Well,
Thank you.
I just wanted you to know that I'm acknowledging your remarks.
Okay, let's get to some important stuff. It's better than
Hi, everybody, or everybody
Can't hear you.
Hi, everybody who attended this meeting. Hi, everybody from the board. Okay, this is an individual matter, and I'm going to show you.
Can't hear you.
No individual matter. Cable line.
Can't hear you. Talk into the mic. Nobody can hear you.
Quiet. No. Scroll inside.
That's a personal thing. That's personal.
First presidential.
Yes, they're having
I was going to talk for
several
2 hours trying to get someone to talk to about this.
You need to
They
speak
said
to
they could
this
not
committee.
get in touch with management. They tried and tried and tried that whole night, and management did not respond. The 3 people, I think you know who all those 3 people are.
Please go to the stand.
So where's the question, please?
And the question is about the snow removal, okay? Yes, this was a bad snowstorm. Everyone agrees with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. And there have been times, and I live on a corner where the snow really piles up. For some reason, it piles up on my corners.
Did you hold the mic, please?
Either talk into the mic or talk to Michael after this is done, because you're talking about a personal, individual property issue. And we've got hundreds of people here and thousands on the TV. Please respect their time. Thank you.
That's not a personal question. Go back to the mic, over there, go over there and speak from there, because no one ever speaks.
What's the question? About snow removal. Like I said, it piles up on the corners. And then you go and hire these big trucks to move the snow, and then you give us a $300 snow assessment. Anybody coming out of the street with the big piles of snow in the corner, all they have to do is proceed carefully, see if someone was coming down the street, and make you turn. So you make the decision to hire $500 an hour for these big trucks, and you see the piles of snow on Cottingham, on our property. That was not a good decision.
It was a blizzard.
Okay, thank you. I really would like us to gain order. Please, thank you for your comments. We appreciate what you said. If you have more to share, talk to Michael afterwards. Your phone is right here. Thank you. Hi, and your name?
Don Sharner, 17C James Buchanan Drive. How's everybody doing today? 17C James Buchanan Drive. My only concern is when there's high winds outside and people put out their recycle pails, and then we end up having a whole block of nothing but papers and plastic containers all over the street. Is there any way the board could look into something about getting bins with lids on them that flap up and down?
How about wheels on?
Because I know it's an expense, but right now, you know, I see your maintenance companies going around picking up pieces of recycle that's all over the street. And that's my only concern, is just put it in your head.
Thank you. We have had some discussions, and of course, you know, we do have 1,785 homes, times $50 a bucket. You want to pay for it? So take it.
So, sir,
Mike wants to answer.
So, hi, thank you. Folks, if I could just have your patience for a few more minutes, thank you very much. So, recently, Monroe Township, on their own, with no input from any HOA, the Township Public Works stopped providing recycle bins. They were providing them. And at some point last year, they said, hey, we're done providing them. Please let your community know they have to self-cure. So essentially, they got out of the recycling pill business. But up till then, they were providing pills with lids. So I think what has happened is some people are getting their own and maybe not having lids, and that's something that clearly is an issue in certain locations. I can tell you the vendor is really good at picking up debris, even when it's out of the pail. Our prior vendor was maybe not as good at that, but still, we'd rather keep the pail. It's easier, it's cleaner, it's more antiseptic, healthier for the community. But there's no HOA-driven response unless the board was to budget for that. We've never done that up till now. I just wanted to make sure that folks were aware of it. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Paul Rosenine, 29 Market Avenue. Looking at the December 25 financials, and was stated at the open board meeting last month, we had a deficit of $638,750.
None whatsoever.
If you look at the assessment letter that came out, the deficit is now $653,250. How did the deficit go up? And do we know for sure that the deficit will not be higher since the audit has not yet been completed. But the first question is, how did the deficit go up by $14,000 and you don't even explain it?
Sorry, Paul, I think that's just a typo. I will check that, but
That's
it was
on the back
600.
of the resolution. It's on the resolution, that my grade, the back page of it. The amount of the budget overage is $653,250. Now, if it's a typo, then someone's not doing their job right and reading this information before it goes out.
You're right, and I apologize.
So it's a typo?
It's a typo.
So
So
then-
it's $638,250.
So then this resolution, as it's written, is not valid.
The resolution,
It says on the back, the budget, the amount of the budget,
Paul,
overages.
Paul, the resolution is this page.
Yeah,
For efficiency, we printed it on a double-sided. This is a snow assessment letter, it's nothing to do with the resolution. This is page 2, this is page 1. The resolution is page 1 only. At the bottom where it's signed is the end of the resolution. That's it. The 300 is still an accurate amount. It generates $527,100. That's what's needed to be generated by the assessment to cover the snow. That plus your discretionary, plus your snow budget equals your snow expense for 2025. Period.
my point is, if you're not, if the board is not reading this information, how do we know that it's correct? And secondly, okay, how do we know that someone on the board should be reading this, proofing it before it goes out to make sure it's accurate?
you're right.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
Thank you for your question.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Nancy Redwood for Eddie, Ethan Allen. You addressed a little bit of this, Mike. Last October I had asked if the board was considering outsourcing some of the functions in Concordia, and I guess we've done that with our custodial services. Is Richie being maintained by this new company?
Sure, all of the staff transitioned over, yes.
Okay, so when you outsource someone and they're making the same salary, how is the company making any money by taking this employee over? They're not. So they're either giving them a pay reduction or they're going to let them go.
So what I can tell you is Richard's role was both cleaning and maintenance in service to the clubhouse. We outsource cleaning. So that's what I can tell you. He's being compensated from the cleaning portion of the agreement, and the maintenance portion is still to be received.
How many open work orders do we have?
1,562, I believe, as of this
And
morning.
how many of those are just for our maintenance department, meaning our maintenance person?
Oh, probably a fraction of that. I would say the last time I checked, over 220 some odd are open masonry tickets, about 800 are landscape related, leaf cleanup. Very, very small. The actual building function, the maintenance function for the buildings and the structures is generally being maintained. Where we're finding the breakdown is in the actual closing of the work order. It's an administrative function, but the actual work being done, we have benefit of an outsourced company, Certiplan, that's been doing these work order tickets for us. So that's being done with general regularity. So the work orders are being performed and processed, and the work's being completed. The problem is some of the tickets aren't being closed, and they're generating multiples, but I think I've answered.
You have, except last year you had mentioned that we needed more help from the maintenance department, and that was one of the reasons we wanted to look into outsourcing. So we're still looking to outsource these maintenance people. My concern is, and I'll just be honest, we have legacy Concordia employees such as Mike Doyle, Eric, and Richie that I'm sure this community does not want to lose because we're outsourcing them. And my experience with outsourcing is you outsource someone, they're going to keep you for a while to pick your brain, learn what the job is, but there's no way for this outsourcing company to make a profit if they're going to pay people the same amount of money we're paying. It just doesn't work.
I appreciate the input. I can tell you that the board, the association, put out the request for proposal for the cleaning of the clubhouse. We received bids. The company met with the staff. The staff's willing to join the company and effort. I don't know what.
Okay, but what about maintenance? Are we looking to outsource maintenance?
The same thing is being considered there, and the same thing with the staff would carry over just the same. Yes, there's no intention to try and eliminates staff members who outsource, to be very clear. And to be further clear to your point, the HOA decided to outsource management in 2023. I'm still here 3.5 years later. There's no indication, unless I'm completely out of tune with the board, there's no indication that I'm aware of to eliminate me or the company at this point. They can make that decision as a business decision anytime they like. But the idea that outsource automatically means that they're going to churn and burn the people, it's presumptive, and I don't think it applies in this particular case. There's no indication.
Excuse me, if I could just add to what Mike had said. In every one of the contract negotiations we've had with the organizations that are going to be filling these roles, we have told them that one of the most important things was for them to consider our current employees to see what they could do in the best possible way to meet their salary and benefits requirements. Every single one, the janitorial, maintenance, all of them have, it's all been an important part of the decision-making process to include the people who are here because they've all given years to us and we recognize how important they are to us. By the same token, this is a situation where we are not responsible for everybody's livelihood. And when somebody is in a job for 20 years and they have exceeded what the salary cap is for that position, and you know, an AT&T-er, you hit a cap. You either stay at the cap, you get promoted, you find another job. But we've gone beyond that. We've gone beyond that because we appreciate those people you just mentioned just as much as you do, so thank you.
No, I appreciate that, Chad, but also, as we discussed last time, many outsourcing deals, they'll keep someone for a while, but it's impossible for another company to make money if they're paying the people the same salary. All I care about is, and I know many people here too, we value these people, they've been here for a long time, they're very dedicated to the community, and we do not want them. Thank you.
Speak into the mic, please. Take the microphone. Pick up the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Christy Diolis. I live at 25A Hillsborough. Is there something funny, Chad? Are you okay? Yeah. I'm assuming that the number one concern in this community is the residents and whoever signed the contract for snow removal to choose not to shovel or snow blow the walkway for the elderly people or any resident to walk is beyond me. I spoke to Donna and she said that Mike Doyle said it's not in the contract. Is that true?
It's never been included. That walking path was installed in 2020? Oh, sorry. As far as I know, it was never included in the snow removal service.
How is that possible? When you have elderly people
Cost.
excuse me?
Cost.
Cost, okay.
It's a mile, 2 miles.
Okay, so if the snow removal company can't do it, why can't the maintenance people do it?
2 miles?
Well,
With a snow blower? My husband was out from 10:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, helping all the neighbors.
So I can answer
There's no
that.
reason.
So the question, the answer is that would be insurance. They're not, the HOA does not insure the staff to clear snow. It comes from workers' comp and risk. You're paying a contracted company and they're basically providing you with that insurance certificate.
Okay, so God forbid a resident falls and breaks their hip, that's okay?
It's never.
I'm walking my dog.
Can you talk loud?
I'm sorry, there's a good foot where anyone at night walking their dog is full injuries, and they're still, as of yesterday, still violating. How is that okay? How is that not a safety issue?
It's not okay, and as the snow has been melting daily, these things that we're finding them, they have been buried in snow piles.
For a week now, they've been.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay,
Two
so
monstrous
with
snow
the
piles.
much over $400,000, this isn't taken care of?
What would you have us do different or better right
Oh my God.
now? I asked a question, I'll take an answer, not a laugh and a guffaw.
Priority, well, Chad obviously thinks it's funny, but
I'm trying to have a
priority.
practical
There has to be
anything.
There has to be something. First of all, that should be a priority. When you have an open catch basin.
Talk into the mic.
I have pictures, okay? An animal or a person could easily fall into that. That's very scary.
I understand that. I do. And I don't dissuade or try and diminish the responsibility or the priority. But everyone has personal responsibility when you walk. You have to look where you walk. You're responsible, right? So if there's a hazard, you avoid it. That's it. That's all I can say.
Who would assume that a catch basin would have a huge piece of metal lifted?
That is storm damage. And as we're identifying it, we're addressing it.
Really? Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that, as well as the fire hydrants that took a week to uncover. God forbid there was a fire. Firemen wouldn't have known where to go. And I called on him and complained about that, and nothing was done for a good 5 days.
The response was constant. The vendor never left until it was complete. The idea of shoveling people out, shoveling drivers out, shoveling walkways out, shoveling parking lots.
Never happened.
Nothing happened?
No.
I got it, thank you.
And nothing happened in our area, that's for sure, because my husband was out doing it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your husband's assistance, thank you.
Okay, on a positive note, my name is Beth Dominic. I live with that gentleman over there at 17 St. James Buchanan Drive. Hi, everybody. Okay, on a positive note, because I know everybody's very frustrated here, myself included. I know you're doing a good job. You're trying hard. It's not easy. I wouldn't want to sit in that seat for all the money in the world. And I know you do it for free. Okay. On a positive note, the newspaper, The Voice. I want to thank you. You posted an article on me. My husband actually is on board. It touched me so much, my heart. I was crying with my artwork and the bio that was written on me. I want to thank you. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
It's valued clearly in the people.
And I do love you. Thank you for living a good life.
At the November and December open board meeting and on the agenda.
What's your name?
Fort Rosenine, 29 North Vanview. At the November and December 2025 meeting agenda, it was stated that there were 398 dry event receipts that needed to be turned in, and this hasn't been reported on since. During the December meeting, it was stated the owners would have the penalties put on their January bills if the receipts were not provided by December 31. How many of those 398 receipts were received?
So the number is down under 200 at this point, but I don't have a more accurate accounting of that. The last number I saw was 182 was still outstanding, but that's already stale by about 2 weeks.
And how many of those owners were billed, and what amount was billed on the penalties? Because the way the thing was written, $25 a day, $500 max.
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me, unfortunately, at this point.
Because looking at the reports, it doesn't look like anything was billed.
It's entirely possible. I don't have it in front of me.
And
I
it's
understand the
supposed to be
statement.
billed.
I understand the statement. I'll get you an answer.
Talk into the mic. Scott Bay, 7 Rockville Drive. I have a comment, and a lot of what I heard tonight and a lot of what I hear in private conversations are the same issue that I have, and it has to do with communication. Yes. Yeah, the communication and management, it stinks. And when we're asked not to put things on next door if we have a concern
don't put it on next door. But, you know, at this point, it seems like the only way that people can find out, you know, if somebody else is having the same problem is to publicize it. You know, you say that we should keep our comments to the community and things that are relevant to the community. How do I know if my neighbor or somebody else is having the same problem if it's not discussed? And then when we do bring it, because the last meeting I was here, and I did bring an issue, and I was told that, you know, somebody would get back to me, and that hasn't happened, and that's not the first time that has. You know, it's like, if you don't want to address a situation, well, ignore it and maybe it'll go away. That's not the way things go.
Diane, we have an email, ask the board. I guarantee you, if you write to that, you will get an answer and your issue will be dealt with. It has been, we have had numerous emails to that, and everyone has been handled within 48 hours. I want to say within 24 hours, actually. Yes.
No, it hasn't been the case.
You want to say an hour and everything
I
comes?
haven't seen anything from you,
I have to put it on my pass.
Please send it to ask the
I
board.
sent it through, and also, the last time I was here, I brought a letter, and I gave it to Christine. I reached out to Mike on occasion, and I get no response, no satisfaction. You know, and like I said, when I talk to people individually, sometimes I find out that I'm not the only one who's dealing with this problem. But we don't know if we can't bring it here in a meeting where other people can hear and say, well, okay, I've had that same problem, and I didn't want to address it. You know, that needed those 2 or 3 minutes that we got a few months ago, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I sat here one night and listened to 3 women tag teaming about the movies that they show in the clubhouse on Sundays. You know, and I don't take up other people's time. I respect your time. But I also want a response to things when there's a problem. Because my issue is still out
My name is Alice Tier, I live at 3 Vintner, and I have a 2-part question. How is the snow removal assessed as far as what we pay, that we pay the crew by the hour or by the enormity of the job? And how many people have priority clearance? Is the medical evidence documented? Because I hope that everyone who asks for that is asking accurately. Because that time would affect, if we're paying by time, then that would affect how much time this is taking. So I don't know how to think of this.
So a couple of good questions. I'm going to try and unpack them and answer them all. Tell me if I miss any. So your snow services agreement are pre-agreed upon contracted rates based on snowfall. So up to 2 inches, up to 3 inches, up to 6 inches, 9 inches, 12 inches, they're all outlined. There's a huge schedule of these fees. That's for the plows to come through. There's fees to apply salt to the community. There are fees for the driveways to be cleared, the shovelers to come out. We're not paying an hourly burn rate for that. Where it does change is things like when we have to relocate snow. So the cleanup, let me say this, let me not use the word cleanup because that's going to confuse. The initial snow response, the plowing and clearing, is all contracted rates. The idea of relocating snow requires the approval of the equipment, and that is a time and material. So when that's happening, there's a schedule for the fees for the vehicles, how much they come in, what the hourly rates for those vehicles to service the community will be. So for 2 days of snow clearing, that's a time and material type of invoicing, and those rates are all contracted prior to. So we know, for example, if they're going to bring in a skid steer or a dump truck, what the cost for that is ahead of time. So when it's presented to us, we have some expectation of what that is. We're not, turning on a meter like in a taxi cab and just watching it climb as people are shoveling and they stand around and don't shovel and the meter keeps going. No, it's not designed that way. It does go up, obviously, based on the amount of snowfall, and it caps. It's like 14 plus, and then it's 14 and plus, or it's 18 plus. There's a point when it's anything beyond that, it's hard to quantify it, right? Because your conditions that are extraordinary. And as I was mentioning at the onset, just getting into the community when 2 feet have fallen is an extraordinary task. Just getting the people in and entering. That's why we have this equipment mobilized in the center. Because the idea of having to push snow in to try and get roads clear it doesn't sound like much, but it is impossible. They have to start from the center, the genesis, and work their way out. Which is why the roads are pushing across outside of the gates to clear, get some of the snow outside of the community to make some room to stage. So I don't know if I answered all of that.
I mean, I don't expect anybody to come in a blizzard like we had and get me out in 2 hours. Like, that's not really the same expectation. I'm not one of those residents. I waited and it was good and I'm good. I just wanted to know how things were assessed, how we paid for them, and then about this priority attention.
Thank you, I didn't answer that one yet. So yes, so not only does the resident have to request to be added to it, they have to provide a note from the doctor. So there needs to be some sort of formal medical engagement from their practitioner. Some part of their care team has to provide us that document and tell, and it expires. It has to be reset each year. It's not standing. So we ask for that to be reestablished because thankfully people's conditions change. We'll assume they're changing for the better. Let's hope that there are people that may have a medical need this year that don't have that need next year. We're optimistic. But we make sure that they renew each year and they have to provide that they don't get added to it, unfortunately. To your point, it needs to be properly handled.
Thank you.
Alana Cohen, 3B Berkshire Drive. So with the financials, January, the snow was over $400,000 over budget. It doesn't include February, which with the blizzard probably could be upwards of $600,000 plus. So we're looking at possibly being over budget $1 million for this year. So now the $400,000 receivable, I don't think that was approved for at year-end 25, correct? For the assessment.
What you're referencing before was what the number Diana gave earlier, that 400K that was over on the operator was on your January financials.
Which does not include the budget. So we could be above the $1 million. So now the $400,000 plus the assessment that's being received, was that receivable accrued for at year end? I don't think so.
I'm struggling to follow. Can you please explain this? Because I think you're commingling the 2 fiscal years, but I want to better understand. Can you please restate your question?
Okay. So we're going to be in a deficit $1 million probably for snow this year. You said we could probably make that up in the budget this year. So now we're going to be receiving $400,000 this year, the assessment, correct?
The assessment is $527,000.
$527,000.
That's for 2025.
Correct. So are you looking at making up in the budget $1 million or $1 million less than 500?
No.
I don't know where the million came from.
400 and another 600.
You're estimating that the snow
Okay.
You're estimating for this year that our snow cost is $1 million. Hopefully it's not.
With the budget, with the blizzard, it probably is.
So
now you're saying we could possibly make that up in the budget. Now you have hardcore costs, landscaping, security, management fees. What is the realistic that we're going to have another?
I have no idea at this point.
To make up $1 million.
We're looking at January, but we're looking at January financials. So it's very hard. And we do have money in the discretionary fund that we will use to help offset the snow. It's impossible to give an answer to that. I don't even have the bills for the February storm yet.
I'm just saying residents need to be aware that's a very low
Alana, I will go on a limb as a manager of this community and say that the next 10 months, 9.5 months for me specifically are going to be very dicey. We have a lot of juggling to do fiscally this year to reduce the impact of this overage. I will say it, and I will beat the drum, and I will repeat it to anybody who wants to hear it until we're all sick of hearing it. The decision has to be made one way or the other to pay for the snow. The choice could be made to prepay, and if we don't use it, you're not getting it back. It's baked into your operating budget. Or you do it the way we've done here, and we assess if and when the snow exceeds the budget. Neither are popular. No one wants to spend money on snow unless you're a skier. Let's be frank. It is nothing but an inconvenience. It increases risk, it increases delay, it increases frustration, as you all know. It increases our operating cost of this community. No one wants it. So, fortunately, to my earlier comment, we had no move to make in mid-December. But we're looking now, at the beginning of March, we're looking at the last 2 months, January, February. We know what happened, we know what's done, we know what we have moving in front of us, and there's going to be some very tight operations for this year. But that's what you should expect from your management at this point. We have to, and I know some people will critique this statement, but that's okay, stand by it. We do our best job with the information given at that moment to advise the Board of Trustees to make the best decisions they can for the health and safety of this community as a whole. As a whole. Not for any one of you individually, but as all of you as a whole. And so that, unfortunately, sometimes doesn't catch 100% of the people. We try. But statistically, 1 or 2% may not be included in that, not by choice. It happens. So we have a lot more time in this fiscal year to do what we can to monitor this. And I'm sure, because Diane is a very astute treasurer, that she will provide updates on this throughout the year, as she did. For those of you who attended it throughout 25, she would reference this carry forward. We're carrying this forward. It's from the January, February 25 snow. And we kept carrying it, 318 whatever it was. We kept carrying it forward, and she made a reference to it. And, you know, a lot of times it just gets lost in the noise of the meeting, until all of a sudden it turns into, okay, now it's due, and now we have to pay for it. And then all of a sudden everybody pays attention. I respect that too, because only when my landscaper tells me at my house, hey, Mike, you got 3 feet of snow. Your township, I live in Middletown, they plowed me in. 3 feet tall, 5 feet wide. It took me 2.5 days just to push through that on spot. But okay. If they were responsible for clearing my driveway too, they'd have a major nightmare. Where would they put all that snow? So I understand the point, I do. We will do what we can to operate this. We've got a good relationship with the vendor. The vendor is also our landscaper. We're expecting a very good collaborative cleanup. We're expecting some good efficiencies there. I'll be frank, I expect to twist their arm and get some good deals out of them. I do. All of those little nickels and dimes help. There's not going to be any, to your point, there are some very hard, large fixed costs. You can't shortchange insurance. It's $1 million. You're not getting around that. The landscape maintenance agreements are close to $1 million. Those two right there, those are hard fixed numbers. We're not moving. But all the other things, we will continue to really watch. Combined with the discretionary fund, combined with the income that comes from the resales. Stay tuned. It's not a pretty picture today, but I expect it to get better looking over the next few months. Thank you.
We spent over $55,000 in legal fees to collect $38,000 in past due association fees. That's what I'm reading the financials. $55,535 in legal fees for 2025 and $37,871 in income past due association fees, which meant we spent $17,000 over what we collected.
No, how about if you take out what we contracted with the attorney, which is 12,000, 15,000, I think, last year. So our retainer doesn't include collection ever. We got that, they didn't deduct it from the 55,000.
55,000, the 12,000, that's regular legal fees, right?
I don't have the December
You have
financials in front of me, Wally.
You have two line items on the budget. You have legal fees and collection, two different things. We pay, I know we pay for the attorneys to go after people who are past due monies and pay the fees. That's where we spend $55,000.
We also have a retainer fee with the attorney as well.
Right, but that's only for the line item. That's all.
I don't have the December in front of me, Paul. I'm glad you do, I don't. But we did bill back to the residents, the legal fees for each one that we collected. We've still paid legal fees on some that we haven't collected yet.
There's some that we've actually failed on too, so I guess.
But with this new company, are we gonna have reduced fees? Because if we keep paying more to get back less, that's not good.
We're not paying more to get back less, Paul. You're almost comparing apples and oranges, because we pay the lawyer for the collection fees, right? You don't pay your bill, we pay a lawyer to go after you. And then we make you pay that legal fee as well. So we get it back.
Yeah, but we're not.
We are. We're not getting it back in the same month.
No, I'm talking I'm not talking I'm talking the full year. We look at the December financials.
You can't do it that way, Paul, because we received checks in January that were legal collections. That was for last year. After we received checks in February.
I know you're going to get a month's later.
Yeah, but sometimes we don't get paid on a delinquency until the unit sells, and it can take months sometimes, but the bills are still coming in and they're collection effort. But it holds till the sale comes through, and then there's a large settlement. That's happening.
We do have several accounts, units that are for collection, which we have been billing back the collection fees, but we haven't collected those accounts yet. The houses haven't been sold. So,
Paul, even just look at January, Paul. January we collected $2,749 collections. That was stuff that was billed in 2025, but we finally collected in January. We collected 2 more checks in February. They were substantial checks. That includes legal fees that we paid out in January.
I realize there's a lapse, but how do we know that our collections are efficient? How do we know that we really...
Look at the agent.
What
do you mean by efficient?
Meaning we're spending more and
we're not.
We're not.
We get a bill from the attorney,
Sorry,
who's
you
charged
don't
to
have
the
that kind
account.
of faith in
When
us.
the account is paid, we're reimbursed for that. It should be in the end a wash, but there's a legal collector.
Well, I believe several years ago, and I believe you were on the board at that time, where collections weren't happening because the attorney that you had said you can only bill back 20% of the attorney fee. We bill back 100% of the attorney fee. There's a lapse. We have an aging that went from over 300,000 down to now 85,000 as of February. And we've collected the legal fees on all of them.
That's it.
One question, thank you. One question, it's more behind.
I'll be quick. Thank you, everybody. Carol Pico, 3 Bristol Court. 3A, Bristol Court. Train of thought. Oh, okay. So the first January snowstorm, cable boxes got put down a lot. So now I've got a situation where it's just like wires and blah, blah, blah. Who's responsible for calling, I called Comcast the first time to come out and fix it. Who's responsible to get the back and put it in the box? The box is gone, which is,
When you reported this to them, how did they leave it with you?
they just came out and fixed it.
Okay, and since then it was subsequently damaged again?
No, it's still rigged up, but it's just with wires.
Gotcha.
There's no problem.
That's on them to fix it.
So I have to call Comcast?
I would suggest it. I can tell you the landscapers in touch with them. I've sent them a bunch, but I am of the opinion the squeakiest of wheels are like oil. So please don't let up on them and let me know if you're not getting anything.
Okay, that's fine.
I've got it.
I'm just curious, because now, obviously, all those numbers are down, now, it looks like it's fine.
And now we're seeing, snow this week, we're seeing a lot.
Okay.
So it's.
But as far as, like, the turf is all ripped up, I don't have to worry about
No, man, no, you
anybody
don't
there?
have to worry about that. You know, I don't need work orders for it, I promise you. We are identifying all of it, we will get it addressed.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
$300 assessment.
Yes, ma'am.
I normally do electronic withdrawals, whatever. I'd like to make a check out.
Sure.
To make it out to FSR.
No, ma'am. We have the Concordia Homeowners Association.
Can I drop it at the front desk?
You can drop it over the front desk, yes. Ask for me, and I'll make sure that I receive it, or Corey, one of us two will receive it. Confirm we've got it from you, I'd like to give you a copy of it, just so you have a copy of it.
I don't copy of it.
Fair enough. But once we do that, then I will enter it into our accounts receivable, let them know to prepay. Also, take those $75 off your account.
Perfect.
So that goes for any, I'm going to use this as a quick disclaimer. Anyone who wants to prepay.
Can you say that again?
Yes, ma'am. Anyone who wants to prepay the assessment, if you don't want it to disturb your quick pay settings, you can bring us a check for $300 to the office, make it payable to Concordia HOA, not for service, no individual person, Concordia HOA, and the memo rate snow assessment, $300. We'll give you a copy of it, and then we'll send it to AR, and we'll get your account updated. So you do not have to affect any settings if you don't want to. Some people have asked that. Just so you know, we've received 48 checks so far, and paid in full from folks in these last 2 days. So this community is responding very well to this, in spite of some of the objections, and I can appreciate all the comments. Lovely lady, we wish her well in the future endeavors, but the part of it. Thank you.
Get off my car, that's what I explained to me. But if these, see what they were 200 people that didn't pay for their dryers back in September, times $500, that's like $150,000, isn't it?
It gets capped, yeah, and I understand your point.
No, but $500 per unit, if there were 200 units.
But I understand your point.
I got you. $500.
Okay, please, there's people standing behind you, that's not a...
Okay,
But I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep some rules, it's tough, sitting up here trying to maintain control.
My name is Colleen Pace, 39A John Paul Jones Drive. My concern is the cable boxes that are open, falling over, they're ragged. We have spotty service as far as phone service and sometimes even cable service. Also, we have the smaller hardcover resin boxes. Now, the metal boxes are from Comcast. Is it our responsibility as a homeowner to try to call their service department to come out and give them a box number so they can fix it? That's one. I tried 4 different numbers for Verizon because they dumped the snow on top of my cable, the little cable box. Knocked it over completely. All the wires are now exposed. I was afraid to try and fix it myself and get electrocuted. So I don't know what to do. I don't know whether it's your responsibility. If it's mine, I have no problem if I can get a number.
Yeah. So the Comcast one, I have, because of our bulk agreement, I've got a good relationship with some of the representatives there. I'm actually going to find out from them how they would like us to handle this. Because, and you just said something which lit a bulb for me. Any service interruption, that's a concern, right? So, because they're going to look to get paid, and I pay them for the whole community. So, any impacted service, if I was just looking at home, if I lose service, I call them and complain, and I get some kind of credit. So if the community has a service issue, boy, they're not really going to want to issue us community-wide credit, are they? So I think I get their attention with making sure the services are restored. Let me find out exactly how to do that, and I'll put a note out to the entire community tomorrow on Comcast. The utilities, otherwise, the HOA does not, they're owned by the utility company through an easement, so we don't have any, we can't really touch them even, it's not ours. If there's something you see there, we can try and help identify whom to call, but we don't have much skin in that game, unfortunately. It's very similar to JCP&L with the streetlights in that regard. They have an easement to provide the utility to the community, and if I could fix the street poles, they'd be fixed way faster than us waiting for them.
Okay, so
I think it falls under that.
even though it says Verizon on the smaller hardcover resin box, that could be a JCP&L.
No, that's Verizon, but what I'm suggesting is that the HOA, where we don't have, I'm not a client there, I don't have a customer, I have a phone number type.
But the snow guys did it.
I understand that.
And then, unfortunately, our cowboy lawnmower drivers in the summer, they knock the box. Almost every box in this community is either knocked over or open, exposing all these wires. And that could be the reason why our service, phone people, phone calls are getting dropped. It's spotty in areas.
I'll get it contact. No, I understand. Let me get contact on how to deal with the Verizon stuff as well. But I can tell you, the snowflakes have been very accountable. So if there's something they can do to help, they will. Gotcha. I'll do that, Colleen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kind of what she was saying, 3D folded. And as I showed you on my phone, snow cloud demolished my outside cable box. It was split in two. I had no Wi-Fi for a week, no television, no landline, no computer. And they said I had to call so many numbers and explain. They kept giving me the wrong number to call. And then they tell me it might take a whole month. As she had already said, my wires are exposed. Anybody can cut the wires. Someone doesn't like me, hey, cut the wires. And my Wi-Fi will go out. And I actually duct taped it together. And the PCO goes back together because they're metal. And they're bent. That's why I'm looking at a picture on my phone. So right now, the wires are exposed and it's duct taped together. I had an exclusive guy come out and fix the Wi-Fi. But I have that for a whole week. No television, no landline, no computer. I don't even know what my bills are. Because the bills are sent to me. You know, you get the water company and Xfinity. All the rest is basically now. It goes to you.
The end.
Goes to your email. Your electric.
They will hate me anyway, so.
Yes. Goes to your email. I have no idea what the bill is. Because my computer didn't work. And
But they restored your back business now, right? Okay, but that's not extended, they have to come out and complete the repair. They don't follow up.
saying the snow plows are the ones that cause the problem.
Thank you.
Do you understand that?
Thank you for your opinion. Thank you very much. Somebody behind you?
Lillian, no matter who did the damage, Xfinity still has to make the repair. We can't make the repair.
I know.
Xfinity has to come make the repair.
I know, who pays for that?
Xfinity does.
Why, it wasn't their fault.
Oh, Jesus.
They're not gonna charge us, they're not gonna charge you, they're gonna come out and make the repair, it's their equipment.
No, they said it may take a month.
That I have no control over. None of us have any control.
Imagine the amount of service requests they've received in the last 2 weeks. In New Jersey alone, I can imagine thousands. If hundreds just came from this community alone, 2 feet of snow fell over 2/3 of the state.
When you don't have Wi-Fi, it's kind of like, oh, read a book.
I can appreciate that. Mother Nature doesn't have a sense of humor.
Nobody's listening. I know.
What happened to order? Steve Beck, 30 Beacon Road Drive. First of all, the only thing I have to say is, I totally agree with you guys. Nobody wants to pay more money, nobody wants to pay an hour assessment. But I totally agree with the fact that you take a one-time assessment and raise it all the HOA fees.
Yes,
Thank you.
Marlene George, 22B Bedfordshire. I just want to let you guys know that during this horrific snowstorm, everybody did a phenomenal job. My next door neighbor had to go to the hospital. My walkway was done immediately, the driveway was done immediately, and Stanley got his car out, which was amazing because they plowed the whole parking lot. So kudos to you and end this complaining meeting.
I have a totally different story than what she said. I'm glad she's happy that you got that for her.
It didn't work.
Everything did not get done. What class stuff was, but the stuff before that, Spalding Drive, they did my whole street, but they didn't do my driveway. I have a friend who lives on 9 Ventnor, and he said he needs to, he has an appointment doctor meeting, and can they do his driveway? He gave him his address, it was 9 Ventnor. You know what they did? What? They plowed the wrong driveway, they did 7 Ventnor.
What's your question?
Thank you, everybody.
Why can't people understand English? You know, you did 7. You guys were lucky.
Have a good evening, everyone. May we see no more 7-0.